I said, Ron, you can beat this guy. Let's go. I got him the nomination. By the way, could have never gotten the nomination. He would be working in either a pizza parlor place or a law office right now.
Now, Ron DeSantis, who of course, that's the person Trump is talking about here, was a United States congressman prior to Trump's endorsement and prior to his run for governor. But nonetheless, Trump is continuing his pretty brutal attacks against the Florida governor, this time in the context of an interview with Sean Hannity on Fox News. We have more Trump carnage to get to, but before we do, let's talk about that clip. Hannity told Trump that people often ask him, why Trump and DeSantis aren't friends anymore. What happened? Why are you guys fighting? I'm amused. I don't believe that. Like, I don't believe that they phrase it that way, but I'm amused at like Republican voters being like, oh, you guys used to be friends. How come you're not anymore? Now, Trump gave Hannity his usual answer about how he doesn't feel that DeSantis is loyal enough because Trump expects everyone around him to be super loyal to him. And he also threw in some classic Trumpisms and more brutal rips of DeSantis. Let's watch.
So what happened with Ron is the following. He came to see me. He was getting killed. He was being crushed. Adam Putnam, it was over. I have many people that I know that worked for Adam Putnam. They said it was like a nuclear, I hate to use this expression, it was like a nuclear weapon went off when you endorsed because they considered the race to be over. Ron came to see me, tears in his eyes. He said, I need you to do me a big favor. First he asked for the meeting, then he asked me for the favor. I said, what's the favor? Would you endorse me? I fought for you, but again, a lot of people fought for me. I said, Ron, you're so far behind. I can't imagine that if you got George Washington's endorsement combined with the late great Abraham Lincoln, if you had their endorsements, I don't think you could win, Ron, but tell me about it, go ahead. He said, I'm telling you, I think I could win if I could get your endorsement. I said, let's give it a shot. Okay, you defended me. Adam Putnam didn't, one way or the other. I think he's probably a nice guy. I never met him until later. A year later, I met him. He said, when you did that, it was like a rocket went up.
I mean, there's so much to talk about from that clip. Okay, the late great Abraham Lincoln, I know he said it before, but just really think about how absurd the imagery is here. That Ron DeSantis came to Trump with tears in his eyes. Like, he knows how to draw a picture, right?
Yeah.
Or paint a picture, I should say. And it's effective with people.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Ron DeSantis is like, I won my re-election. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what you got? Okay.
So, you've heard of the horse whisperer? Trump is a different kind of horse whisperer, like as in he has a hoarse voice. He's always like, let me tell ya.
Yes.
Ron came to me, tears all over his face. And I thought, you're gonna work in a pizza parlor soon, Ron. Okay? And then a rocket went up. And that was the rocket called Trump. George Washington and the late great Abraham Lincoln. Wait, didn't Washington also die? Isn't he also the late great George Washington? Now, if both of them endorsed you, you still wouldn't win, but I endorsed you and you won. I guess I'm better than the late great Abraham Lincoln and George Washington put together. I didn't say it.
That's exactly what he was trying to say there.
Exactly. Of course, because he once said that he was more popular than Lincoln according to polling. There was no polling in Lincoln's time. Okay.
No, guys, understand, I'm laughing because of how absurd he is. He's so absurd. But at the same time, it's like this weird paradox, right? He's absurd, he's also hateful and evil in some ways, but he's also really funny. He's the top, I've said it before, I'm gonna say it again, top insult comic in the country. Yeah. He's just good at insulting people.
He's Trump the insult comic insult dog, or whatever the hell that was.
Yeah, no, totally.
Okay, so guys, to Anna's point though, what Democrats don't get is that this works.
It does work.
Okay, they bring on Adam Schiff who recites the dictionary and oh, okay, we really nailed him with that one. You're obfuscating. No, this guy say, rocket went up. It was because of me, right? And that works, Look, he's now built like a 15 to 20 point lead on DeSantis, even in polls where they were tied. He's pulling away from DeSantis. And Democrats look at this and go, It's so beneath us. Look at that, that's so childish. Talking in a simple way to people. We would never do that. Well, that's why Hillary lost and Biden almost lost to this clown.
So let's get to other statements from Trump in regard to Ron DeSantis. In an interview with the Daily Mail this past weekend, he said this. Number one, this is kind of true, by the way. Not kind of, it's definitely true. Number one, DeSantis has got no personality. But in addition to personal flaws, I think he's got a real problem with the fact that he wanted to destroy Social Security.
Boom. Why couldn't Democrats run on that?
That is
idiots. Idiots. DeSantis beat the Democrat in that race by 20 points.
Yeah.
How many times did the Democrat bring that up? Probably never. Losers, total losers. I think that you're being a little verbose there, right? Hey, no, hey, this jerk was going to cut your Social Security. Half the state's over 70. Come on, this is not hard. And when we say that, both Democrats and media are like, oh, uncivil. You Democrats should definitely not elect any fighters. It's literally almost word for word what the LA Times said in my congressional race.
And Trump said, without his endorsement, DeSantis wouldn't be governor, right? You know where he'd be right now? Probably working either at a cigar store or a law firm.
I like how he keeps the law firm, but switches up cigar store and pizza parlor, okay? See, that's how you do politics, okay? And by the way, it's not entirely wrong. Like, that's also has elements of.
Why cigar store, Jake? Is it because it's Florida? Is that why?
Who knows?
Like, well,
who
where
knows
does
what goes
cigar
through his
store
crazy
come from?
head, right? So, but the law firm part is totally true. DeSantis would have lost without Trump's endorsement, and then he probably would have gone for worked at a law firm that does lobbying in DC. Yeah. And would have been a greasy lobbyist.
Definitely.
Look, guys, DeSantis, watch his hands. If I was Trump, I could, he's already kicking his ass, right? But here's one thing he could do. I don't want to give him this hint because I don't want Trump to win. Anyone but Trump. But I have to say it because I'm honest. If you're Trump, all you have to do is go, why is Ron doing this? Did he used to talk like this before? No, he's copying me because he's a loser meatball. Okay, and that is true. And then then DeSantis is stuck. Does he keep talking like this, which he clearly took from Trump? Or does he all of a sudden stop doing that? Oh, he'll be paralyzed.
He is paralyzed. I mean, you see it. You see it every single time he's asked to respond to Trump. He tries his best, but honestly, his dunking of Trump is reminiscent of someone who would work at a cigar store, apparently. It's just not good, not good.
And by the way, if you're used to cable news, you must be so confused right now. They're like, wait, I don't get it. He just said anyone but Trump, but they keep giving Trump credit here for doing politics right. It's called being honest.
Yeah, look, I don't like Trump, but he knows how to market in a political context. And there could be some things that you can learn from that, right? It's not that I like his policies or like him as a person. I mean, obviously we don't. But at the same time, attacking your opponent and doing it sometimes as viciously as Trump does clearly works. Okay, final thing I want to just quickly mention. So now there are some threats in regard to anyone who might work for DeSantis and then later look for a job working for Trump. So according to a report from RealClearPolitics, he's also making it very clear to every Republican that if they team up with DeSantis, they'll be blackballed by the Trump team, okay? So as Ron DeSantis emerges as a prospective rival for the Republican nomination, Donald Trump's campaign has put word out that anyone who works for the Florida governor will be blackballed. According to sources with direct knowledge of the edict, Justin Caporale, who helps lead the advanced team for the former president, has said that anyone who staffed a recent DeSantis book tour will be considered persona non grata. Like, man, they retaliate, and they retaliate hard. It's a time for choosing. If you work for Ron DeSantis's presidential race, you will not work for the Trump campaign or in the Trump White House, and that's according to an anonymous source close to Trump.
Establishing Democrats, please criticize that. Please pretend you're against that, because they're the world's largest hypocrites. You know who invented that strategy? Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi said if you work for anyone who primaries an incumbent Democrat,
you will be blackballed. The Democratic Party will never use you again. And who were the people challenging Democratic incumbents? Progressives. So they said, if you ever work for a progressive, you'll never work in this town again. And at the time, by the way, not only Democrats, but the media were like, bravo, what brilliant strategy. Now they'll probably pretend to be outraged that Donald Trump is doing this. And of course, Democrats always find their strength when they're fighting progressives. But when it's Republicans and like Trump, they're like, where did my strength go? I don't know. Yeah, look, Trump, so guys, politics and policy are completely different. Trump is terrible on policy, all the way through to maybe killing democracy. But on politics, his strategies are the ones we've recommended all this time. And the Democrats see it working right in front of their eyes. You get control of your party by saying, if you don't agree with me, I will eliminate you politically, right? But Democrats go, no, you can't do that to establishment Democrats. No, that'll never work. It's uncivil, it's terrible, it's wrong. No, they're worried about it because it will work. We just need one populist progressive who's an ass kicker, who doesn't give a damn what the media thinks or what the Democratic Party thinks. They need to run against Biden and kick his ass and actually run hard against Republicans. But mainstream media and establishment Democrats will do everything in their power to make sure that doesn't happen. And Biden's gonna walk in against Trump. Oh my God. Biden is a massive underdog to Trump in this time around. But they can't see straight in Washington. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.